All right, it is media day, and I am joined by Texas City head coach Shone Evans. And Coach, you had a heck of a year last year. I mean, you look at the two losses you had to the state champion and the state semifinalist, right, or regional finals with Huntsville, and that game was a 3-pointer. So just talk about how excited you were at the end of that season, just with the momentum you kind of built off of that.
Uh, excited going into it and, crushed at the end.
Yeah.
That senior class was, you're not blessed to coach a senior class like that. We just ran into a buzzsaw of Huntsville, a very well coached team, tremendous athletes, and how they finished fourth in that district just speaks volumes of that district as well. But no, it took a while to get over that one because that senior class was a special group, and I was only blessed to coach them for 2 years, but the bonds that were built were lifetime bonds. A bunch of special individuals in that group. And, before I got there, they were an extremely close group. Their families are close, the kids are close, the girlfriends are close. So you adopt something that, just as close, and for them to take me in the way that they did and make me a part of that family, and then just, they run through a wall for you. And, at the end of the year, the clock's always going to say zero, and you hope that you're the one that's putting a ring on your finger. And it's, and all coaches around the world feel it, but that was a special group, and that was a hard one to get over. That truly was.
Yeah, there's only a handful of teams that can walk away with that ring you're talking about, and everybody else walks away disappointed. But I would tell you this: you can't be disappointed in the kind of men that you produced there, because we talked earlier about the story that we did with you guys at Inside High School Sports, and the kind of guys that you had coming out of that program. Not only were good football players, but it's like what every coach says, man. I could care less how great of a football player. I just want them to be great men, and it seems like you had a lot of great men coming out.
And I want to thank you guys for highlighting those young men, because those young men have an extreme story, and unfortunately in our times today, they're not the only ones with the story like that. I had a couple more, even on the team that didn't make the story, that have similar type stories. But it's just like you said, every coach in this profession, there's only one, two coaches in 5A that win, two coaches in 6A, so on and so forth. But our main goal is to make better men. And the things that I was able to do, I have one of the best staffs, if not the best staff in the country. I love the guys that I work with. And that's one of the things that we concentrate on. We concentrate on making sure that our young men become great citizens of society, because we feel like if that's our first goal, the wins are going to come.
And you made great men, but you made some great defensive players last year, because a
Yeah.
couple of games that we remember the most was obviously in the preseason when you played Galveston Ball, and they had a stud player, and you shut them down to like 10 points and made a huge hit at the end of the game to win that thing. And then Marshall, all they got is athletes, and they wound up with 7. If I remember correctly, I believe that was a pick 6, 7 points they got us 2. So the defense just shut everybody down.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know this. One of our unheralded heroes is a Texas City alumni. Jermaine Anderson is my defense coordinator. He was on the 97 state championship team. He was one of 4 Texas City graduates that went to UT that year. And, he's like a little big brother. We've been together every year since 2007. So the connection that he and I have is strong. Like I said, he's like a little brother. So he did an unbelievable job. He and his staff did an amazing job. They gelled together. And the kids listened to what they had to say, and the kids were hungry. So kudos to the entire team. It takes 3 phases, defense, offense, special teams, and inevitably one side of the ball is going to be stronger than the other. And this year was our defensive turn.
Well, before we get into the district, you mentioned a lot on this call about a heck of a senior class, which leads me to tell you to think that you may be a little bit inexperienced next year. Talk about what the team might look like for 2024 here.
Well, we had a very experienced senior class, but the way we do things is we were able to have a lot of people get reps. It's one of those things where a lot of people say if you have 2 quarterbacks, you don't even have 1 quarterback. And Joey Duran incredible young man. He was a senior. He's moving on. So we have 2 young men that are going to fight for the job. One junior, one sophomore that are going to be in there fighting for the job. The winner will take all. And we're looking forward to it. You know, everyone started their pseudo spring practices now, and both of them are getting quality reps while playing baseball. But, you know, we do have some key guys. Xavier Skyron, our Arizona State commit, is going to play both sides of the ball. Maurice Burton got a lot of carries last year. He's a returning special teams player of the year in our district. Expecting big things for him. We're returning 3 offensive linemen. So, you know, the cover's not bare by any stretch. We've had an unbelievable offseason. We spent a lot of time on flexibility and as well as strength. We voluntold most of our kids to run track or power lifts. So, you know, in 45 minutes that you get in your athletic period is never enough. So the kids need to concentrate on, you know, what they need to do. We want all of our kids to play basketball. We want them to play baseball. At the same time, we want you after school in the weight room and on the track.
I like that phrase, voluntold. I'm gonna have to use that myself when I talk to my own boys. Hey, let's quickly before we say goodbye talk about this district, because I feel like it's gotten a lot harder. You got some young teams that are itching to get their flowers in Iowa County and Richmond Randall, and then you still got Marshall in there and Baytown Lee and these Rosenberg teams. Talk about how it's going to be hard to survey this district.
You know, I don't know what we need to do to go to Austin or wherever the UIL office is and ask for forgiveness for what we've done, because you know, Texas football itself is unbelievable, but the Houston football, the district football, everybody looks and sees the eventual state champion, but they don't realize in Houston we beat up on each other so much that it's hard to play that 16-week season. And, you know, as soon as we get off this call, I'm getting ready to go to the regional track meet. I'll see Richmond Randall, Iowa Colony, you know, those guys in there in all the relays and have all these kids at the regional track meet. So, you know, we don't back down from anything, but we do have some horses in front of us.
Going to be a heck of a journey, and I love the fact that we're in Texas. We can talk about this 4 months before you even hit the field for real. But I appreciate you joining me, Coach. Exactly.
Yes,
I appreciate you joining me, and we'll see you throughout the season, Coach.
Look forward to it. Y'all have an open invitation. You guys do a wonderful job highlighting the student athletes in Texas, especially in Houston. And as a football coach here, I appreciate everything that you guys do. I love watching stories. I love the uplifting. You know, we're in a world where every time you turn on the news, it's something horrible. And you guys have gone to the opposite end of the spectrum, and I thank you for that.
I appreciate it, Coach. Thanks again. Have a good week.
Yes, sir. You too.